Hey everybody, welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. I'm Aaron, editor-in-chief of Comic Booked,
Hey everybody, Justin, managing editor over Comic Book.
and joining us tonight, a very special guests, Jim Balent and Holly Golightly.
That's us. I'm Holly.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was confused at first, But so we appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with us. You guys are the two parts of Broadsword Comics, and you got some great books out, and we just kind of want to talk about Broadsword. But if we could start first with Jim, I know you've got a long history in comics. Um, from your Catwoman run to the work you did with Chaos. You want to talk about kind of how you got your start in comics and your experience?
Yeah, sure. Probably the short of it all is I went to the Joe Kubert School way back in the '80s. Graduated from there. My first published work would be in the back of Sergeant Rock. Then from there, I was a background inker for Kim DeMulder, Joe Sinnott, as I was honing my craft. And then every week I would go into New York City, into the editors' offices, and show them my pages. I got hired to do a few stories, and then the big break came about when they asked me to do Catwoman. I was on Catwoman for 7 years. And then in the year 2000, Holly Golightly and myself, we started Broadsword Comics. And it's been nonstop ever since.
Cool. All right. So Broadsword, let's talk about that. I know there's you've had several books. Your main is Tarot, right?
Correct.
So I guess let's talk about Broadsword and where you're at now with it. Just tell us about it, I guess.
Well, right from the beginning, Holly and I, since we're workaholics, in the year 2000, we said let's follow one of our dreams, which was to start our own comic book company. And we sat down and we came up with a name, and we knew that we wanted everything done by ourselves. And since we are workaholics, we knew we could do that. We've been doing that all our lives. And then from there, we just we basically had two rules. We basically said, as long as we're having fun doing it, and as long as the readers are having fun reading the books, we're going to keep going. And for the past 16 years, the readers have been incredible support. The stores have been an incredible support. And wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, and today we just unleashed some images for Terra 100.
I saw those. Those were cool.
Yeah.
Which will hit the stores in the year.
This year.
That's right. This year, September. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. That's quite a milestone, definitely.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I saw there was a photo cover, which was cool.
Yep.
And then, so tell me about. So Holly, you want to talk about your role in all this, and how did you get started in comics? And
sure. Well, first I have to say I am wearing my pajamas because I thought this was audio only. So, and I get ready for bed around 7 p.m. Well, how did I get in comics? I wanted to do something fun because I was a fashion designer and it wasn't fun at the time. So I remembered my bliss reading comics. And so when I was around 29, I put together a portfolio because I asked around and people said that's what you should do. And I went to my first convention, I think it was in Philadelphia, and I got my first job. And I just kept trying to get work here and there in small publishers. And eventually it led to me applying to Archie toward the end of the 90s. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like 1997 or 8. I started working at Archie, and I did Sabrina, did Cheryl Blossom, Josie and the Pussycats, and a bunch of Betty and Veronica, and Archie and stuff. So all that. And then while I was doing that, the year 2000 hit, and we wanted to do our own company. And so I juggled a little, and eventually I let go of Archie and just completely focused on Broadsword, which is awesome because there's nothing better than like doing your own stuff.
Sure. Cool.
Where did the name Broadsword come from? Like, did that come from something you were working on, or
No,
like at the time, or?
It's really strange because for some reason, we have two different versions of this. Where for some reason, I remember we were sitting in a library and I was writing down names for the company. And since we both love sword and sorcery and fantasy,
Dungeons and Dragons.
I wrote down, Broadsword. But the first thing that came to me was an image of a silhouette of a female holding up a sword. And that stuck first for a day or two. And then I started putting just a name to it. And I thought we were together in the library, and I just wrote down Broadsword. And that was one of them.
And I thought we were in a car at a gas station.
That's funny.
He's probably right.
So between the gas station and the library.
Right.
I could have swore the eureka moment was accompanied by petrol smells and fumes. I don't know why I remember it that way.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Huh.
we're both really big Dungeons and Dragons fans, and
Nice.
I always say that's one of the top 5 reasons I married you. Is you're an awesome dungeon master.
That's the game, not anything else.
Oh yeah,
Got it.
Gotcha.
That's a whole different demographic. Those are our later night interviews. So
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that kind of lends to the question: how did you guys meet?
At a comic book convention, October 22nd, at Philadelphia, I believe it was.
Yep.
Our tables or our booths were fairly close together, and she was working for another company, and I was asked to come over and look at some artwork, and that's how we first met.
I was modeling at the time too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
So that just goes to show that people can meet at a comic convention, right? And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then as we talked, we realized we had the same goals in mind, the same work ethic. So it was definitely a good fit, a good pair.
that's great.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about the future of Broadsword. You guys want to kind of go into what plans do you have now that you've hit this big milestone of issue 100? What's next?
Almost.
Almost there. Almost there.
It's out to the printers now, right?
No.
Oh, not yet? Oh.
No, I am actually working on issue 99, but because of advertisement, you have to draw 3 months in advance or so.
Yeah, the solicitation.
So the storyline is plotted for 100, but I've yet to draw, page 1 or write the actual dialogue for that.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me the question: if did you know 16 years ago you would be reaching issue 100? And I said no, because our focus is always sort of the issue you're working on or the next 2 or 3 issues. And once again, we're just so amazed that our fan base has supported us for so long, and we're just very grateful to them.
That's cool.
Yep.
So
the future.
Oh, the future.
yes.
Yeah.
Get my tarot cards out. I always feel like we're living in the moment. We do, like Jim said, we do have to plan ahead, like 3 months. And sometimes we'll plan ahead a little bit further, like we've been talking about a coloring book. We've been encouraged by a lot of our readers, and we do. We listen, we chat with our readers on Facebook, Twitter, emails. And So that has came up a lot in email. So we definitely want to do that. And we're shooting for December. We're going to be doing a Kickstarter the end of July.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's all we
with
can
a secret
say.
Kickstarter. Okay. Well, when you're ready to do that, let me know. We'll do another. We'll do a little Kickstarter spotlight with you guys.
Okay, and I'll wear clothes.
It's optional,
Whatever makes you comfortable.
That's right.
Whatever gets us lots of views.
That's right.
But since you mentioned the Kickstarter, it's going to be based around the issue 100. And well, why don't you tell them what it actually is?
Oh, okay. Well, what little we will share with you is it will be an extended, exclusive, unique number 100 experience.
Oh,
so
cool.
The stores will have unique editions and issues, and then we will do something that's pretty like groovy and mega and uber for Kickstarter.
Right. It'll be a 48-page book, and there'll be a lot of extras in the back.
Yep. Kind of. Well, but we'll
we
tell
can't
you
say
more.
too
That's
much.
Okay.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
I understand.
What we can say is I'm actually, and this is in the regular edition and the extended edition, is I am doing some backup stories.
Oh,
so
cool.
After the 22-page adventure that Jim writes and illustrates, I will be doing I'm shooting right now for one funny story, and it's called Teen Tarot. So I'm bringing some of my silly, fun story writing and art.
Yes, and this will be in the store editions as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I saw the teaser up today that you put, so that was it looks good. I mean,
yay!
Cool. All right. Well, Justin, do you want to ask our big question?
Sure. I mean, this will be for both of you, so however you want to answer it. But like, what a book or series or story arc or something that got you in and where you were like, I could do comics. Maybe I should do this. I want to do this.
Wow. Well, I started reading comics since I was 5 years old. I'm sure everyone has.
Yeah.
It was definitely, reading the Batman books, and also a big influence was reading Red Sonja by Frank Thorne. That was fantastic, and it wasn't until high school where I realized that, hey, this is a job. It's just, somebody's making this, someone's getting paid. And I looked into it and found out where you can go to school, and basically you start setting up sort of like these goals. And that's what I did in high school, is just try to work my way up until I became a professional comic book artist. But it was definitely, I was big into Spider-Man. There wasn't that one eureka moment, but I just remember Spider-Man, Batman, and Red Sonja being around a lot growing up.
Awesome.
How about you, Holly?
Well, I want to go back to when I totally became a comic book nerd, because like everyone, I read like Richie Rich and the Archies and all that when I was a wee Holly. But as a teenager, I really got into comics because I had a crush on my best friend's mother's boyfriend, and he was a lawyer on Watergate.
Oh, wow.
And he was really into comics. And one day he was sitting in his study and he was reading Howard the Duck. And I'm like, what are you doing? I think I was like 14. And he's like, I'm reading comics. And he had Red Sonja and Conan and Howard the Duck on his coffee table. And I grabbed the Red Sonja and I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. So Frank Thorne was also what intoxicated me of wanting to draw comics. And then, like I said, I had veered off into some strange direction, and I was a fashion designer for a while, and I was just not happy. It wasn't fulfilling So like I said, I thought back, well, when was I happiest? Where was my bliss? And I just remembered that moment in the study with Richard reading Red Sonja and, you know, discovering Conan. And I just remembered the thrill of it. And I said, oh my God, if I could feel this again, and if I could have other people feel that's what I want to do. And I also found that I could do everything, you know, like Jim and I both share that thing where we want to write, we want to draw. I love technology. So I figured out, you know, how do we letter it? How to, you know, do all the production and the shit. You know, when I was a fashion designer, I did my own line. So I had to figure out sourcing fabrics and this and that, and distribution and all this. And making a comic and making a garment, not too different, really. You just, you know, can't wear a book. You know, but
I have seen
Not
a dress
comfortably.
made out of comic book pages, though.
yeah. Yeah, when they put it between the plastic. I know.
Right.
Not comfy. Not comfy.
Yeah, so I think that was my aha moment, you know. But I read Warren magazines. I love black and white, like the old Vampirella, the old Eries. So I was really into horror. I read ElfQuest, so fantasy, Tomb of Dracula, Howard the Duck. I was not into superheroes. Maybe I always have to correct myself. I did love Spider-Woman, the Jessica Drew, back, you know, when she was like emo and on her own, and I just loved it. I must have read that comic book, I don't know, 80 times in an airport in one day. But, and Star Wars. I had to read all the Star Wars comics. Even when they had a big green rabbit, I was happy. It was Star Wars.
That's cool. So what do you think about the new series that Marvel's been doing?
I love it. Yeah. Well, can I show tattoos?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, our views just jumped 100 points. All right.
We got to be careful here.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah. R2?
R2. Oh, very cool.
Wait. Okay. I'm trying to stay modest.
There you go.
There we
Gotcha.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Mouth ears.
Forever.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thinking about a BB-8.
Yeah, he kind of fits with the mouse ears too, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I just like it a lot. So, but I am thinking about like a Princess Leia and a Maleficent. Maybe we'll stick a little BB-8 in there.
Cool.
Nice. Make it a full like Star Wars arm piece.
Yeah, I have a Harry Potter piece over here. It's Viper from Kung Fu Panda, but wearing the Slytherin outfit.
Oh, nice.
So it's sort of my Slytherin / Star Wars. And then this is all Disney on this side.
Nice.
Cool.
Little Mermaid and Stitch and Sally.
Awesome.
Tinkerbell. She's there too. So.
Okay. Well, Jim and Holly, anything else you guys want to talk about today?
We'll be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. So
Really?
okay.
I'm reading your mind.
I know. No, stop. Get out.
Run away.
So San Diego Comic-Con, and then you have other plans for this year, leading up to the release of 100?
You could definitely follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So if we have any announcements or appearances, you'll definitely find us there.
Okay. And we'll have links there in the description for the video as well.
Great.
Yeah, and we're at booth 1715 at San Diego.
Okay.
So
I'm making notes here.
Yeah. That's our booth. So what did you think of Star Wars? Did you guys like it?
I really liked it, yeah. But then I've liked all the Star Wars. I even liked Episode 1 as much as people don't like it. But
bless your heart.
You were just happy to get some Star Wars.
You know, I grew up with Star Wars. You know, I was 4 years old when the first episode came out, when Episode 4 came out, and you know, then I remember seeing Empire Strikes Back at the drive-in and seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater. And so, then it was so much time between, and there was like, there's a new Star Wars movie. And I had one of my best friends lived about 10 miles south of me, and there was a theater down there that was going to have a midnight showing. That's the first time I'd ever done anything like that. So he and I went and stood in line that night with all the people dressed as Jedis. We were just in our street clothes, and went to see it. And I mean, I think I saw it 8 times in the theater over the course of the next couple weeks. But it was just so, I thought it was so good because, I love those original movies, and to see them bring life back to this, that's what I was excited about.
Justin, not so.
What?
Yeah.
Not the prequel. The prequels were okay.
Okay.
But no, the newest one, The Force Awakens, no, I love that.
Cool.
It made me feel like the original 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it brought it all back, and it was really, really good. I can't wait for I can't wait for Rogue One. That movie looks amazing. Yeah. Also,
I'm looking forward to that too. Now, I wasn't sure. I was like, "What is this Rogue One?" And then the extended trailer, and I was like, "Ah."
Yeah,
it's so good. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Yeah, we're gonna have 5 or 6 years in succession of having a movie in November, December from Star Wars. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a good 5 or 6 years here.
Did you see our wedding video?
I did. Yes, that was awesome. That was another thing I was going to bring up. That was really cool. A Star Wars themed wedding. That was amazing. So you guys want to talk about that? Yeah.
That's you.
Well, actually, it coincided with the release of episode 1.
Nice.
And
cool.
We were engaged since 1999. We were engaged in the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
and
wow.
We really thought we were going to get married at Disney. And then we started Broadsword, and we got busy. And not until 2004 we started thinking about our wedding. And Jim always comes up with the great ideas. And he said, "Well, why don't we do a Star Wars wedding?" You did come up with that idea.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
It just felt natural.
Yeah. But you put it together. I was just like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" And we had just gotten the Vader armor created, and I just got the golden bikini done to celebrate episode 1. We thought, "Oh, we're gonna get dressed up and go and all that." And then and Jim's like, "Oh, we should do this with our outfits." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And so we called up Disney, and we said, they have that Disney hotline of, plan your perfect wedding. Mm-hmm. And we're just like, "This is our perfect wedding." And they went, "No, you can't do that. We think what you're wearing is too sexy."
Oh, no.
And at the time, they didn't own Star Wars. And they're like, "Well, we're probably going to need written permission from Mr. Lucas and stuff." So we're just like, okay. And we just didn't know where to plug it in. And we stumbled upon Universal Studios Hard Rock Hotel. And we called them up. We told them the idea. They're like, "Oh, my God, yes." And they're like, "Do whatever you want. We will provide this, that, and the other thing." And Jim's like, "Well, I think it would be cool if we contact the 501st of Florida." And he wrote them a letter. He said, "This is our idea. We've seen that you've, done parties and things. Would you think about doing that?" Meanwhile, the guy he contacted, his call name was Dark Claw. And I think he realized, "Oh my God, this is the guy who created and drew the first." Well, there was only 1 issue of Dark Claw. So he's like, "There was 2?
Yeah, they did an animated version.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. But he said, "Yeah, you could have 50 stormtroopers." And we're like, wow. Oh my gosh, we were just thinking of a couple, And so if you watch the video, it's on my Facebook. You'll see we have around 14 stormtroopers, including Boba Fett. He gave me away, and we had a working R2-D2. He was the ring bearer, and it was magical, And we storyboarded it all out because we wanted like a little story with our video. We didn't just want, normal. And then we hired a video company, a professional company, and they actually said, we don't want you going anywhere else, so we're going to give you this really big discount because we don't want anyone else doing it but us, because this is fun.
Right.
We didn't have our family. It was just us and the 501st of Orlando. So it was just so much fun.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
It was great. And then we went to Halloween Horror Nights right after.
Great way to top it off.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think we've milked you for all the information we can get here on any upcoming plans. So we'll definitely talk to you guys again. Some closer to the Kickstarter date, and
Sure.
help you get that going. We do appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about Broadsword and about comics and Star Wars and all kinds of fun stuff. So, any final words?
Go ahead.
May the force be with you.
Very appropriate.
Sounds good. All right. Well, again, thank you, Jim and Holly. We appreciate your time. And everybody out there watching, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell people about Broadsword. Just an awesome company. A lot of good comics from there. Great artwork. Really, that's one of the things that draws me to the book is the detail, and you can just tell the passion that goes into those books. So really, really like that.
Thank you very much. I have great inspiration right here.
Ditto.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Justin, you have anything?
No, just thanks a lot.
Thanks, Justin.
All right. Thanks.
Aaron.
Okay. Thank you. And thanks everybody out there.